Recently, DICE posted an article on their website taking a look at things that they've learned from the first Battlefield Alpha. Now that's an interesting point to start the video off, the first Alpha. If you didn't already know, there is an open beta coming in September for everyone to have a go on the game. However, due to them saying this was the first Alpha, I have a feeling there will be another one between now and then for some more gameplay to be put on show. We'll also get to see the game at Gamescom, which will be great, and that will be a new build of the game, probably taking into account some of the things that are spoken about in this video. Now for those who don't know, DICE wanted to test quite a few things in the alpha, but mainly focused on the technical aspects of the game, including many of the back-end systems, player scoring rates, and other things like that. In addition to that, you had your usual gameplay mechanic tests, and that would include things such as the new reviving systems, animations, gun balance, all that sort of stuff. In this video, I'm going to take a look at what DICE think they learned from the alpha and what I think they'll improve into the next build of the game. To start off, DICE recognised there were problems with the squads in Battlefield 5. Of course, there were all sorts of issues when I joined a game. I couldn't join squads with my friends, I couldn't leave the squads, I couldn't join in a group of players from Origin into the game smoothly. It was a bit of a mess, but they did acknowledge this during the playtest, and now I think they are going to be improving this, obviously for the Gamescom build, and that's what we'll see in the next build of the game. All this stuff should be very, very smooth and fixed. That is what the alpha is for, ironing out some of these bugs that you will see. Now for me, I didn't experience any crashes during the Battlefield 5 alpha, and the game actually ran quite well, although some people said the optimization wasn't perfect, which is fine, and I'm sure DICE will sort this out, as they did with Battlefield 1 and previous Battlefield games. Crashes weren't really a problem, which is great to see because they seem to have nailed on that stability, which was a bit of an issue in Battlefield 1 for many players. Let's take a look at the revives. Battlefield 5 has a refined revive system compared to previous games, or that's what DICE like to say. I think it's a little clunky, and I think the idea of having all classes being able to revive, although it being nice, is going to be very, very different to what we've experienced in the past. After the alpha, DICE will be adjusting both the medic revive and the buddy revive though. It will overall feel less clunky, which is great, and there'll also be some delays that have been removed in the next build, such as when you were done reviving and couldn't move for a full second. I think that's great. I said they removed it when I first experienced it. It's clearly a bug. They've also made the buddy revive around 2.5 seconds faster, which is massive, and they'll also assess if they need to adjust the medic revive accordingly. I think it needs to be a little bit faster. You still want a bit of an animation in there and it to be something that you actually have to think about in Battlefield 5 because that's the approach they're going for, but I think it does need to be a little faster. There's also an issue where it could take some time before you could actually initiate a revive, and they're going to sort that as well. Ammunition. When it comes to ammunition, many players in general like the war of attrition mode and the fact that you don't spawn in with a lot of ammo, but some people didn't really like it. They're of course tweaking this, trying to get the optimal balance. There are other factors affecting ammo availability too. For example, the possibility of looting dropped ammo from dead players might benefit certain classes more than others, and there's lots of different balance things that they're trying to get right. Reinforcements. I only saw 2 of these in the closed alpha, and I think there are a lot more coming in the next build of the game. We had the V1 rocket and the Churchill crocodile tank. Really, really fun to use, especially the V1. Definitely made for some only in Battlefield moments. They are though going to make some changes to the balance. For example, it was way too easy to be reinforced with the V1 rocket in Conquest, and though some matches are supposed to escalate with these reinforcements towards the end of the match, they are going to tone it down. I found that during the alpha, every single squad got a V1 rocket within a few games because you started to learn how to level up and how to get lots of points as a squad. They're going to change that, and it will be a little bit harder to get hold of one of those. Time to kill. Now this is a big one. When it comes to time to kill, or the TTK as many people refer to it as, there was a bit of feedback on either end of the scale. It was quite polarized. A lot of people felt that it was very, very fast, and a lot of people just enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, but I do think it's maybe a little bit on the fast end. I want to see some damage drop off on the weapons, maybe an extra bullet to kill on some of the weapons like the STG and that Gewehr 44. It is worth mentioning that TTK is not just determined by how powerful weapons are, it's also related to how fast the game lets you react when you are fired upon. Now, there are some things that they're going to be changing, and we'll see this in the next build of the game. I think they're just going to change the time to kill, make it slightly longer, and we will see different changes after the next build of the game as well. This is a constant process of adapting things and making the game as good as possible. So don't worry if you didn't like it, there'll be something else to try on the next build of the game, and hopefully that will be more to your liking. The maps and modes. As we all know, we got access to the Narvik map, or as they call it, Arctic Fjord. This is a conquest and grand operations map, although I'm sure we'll see lots of other stuff on there as well, like domination, TDM and frontlines. Regardless of the mode, the map was designed to have clear lanes where you engage the enemy and objectives, and thanks to this we saw many nice fights between the bridge and the mountainside. I've included a little graphic in the background that shows you the most popular places for players to be. No surprise, the little bridge and the dock thing that you get on the side there was just absolutely full of players, non-stop, lots of kills there as well, and quite interestingly the top of the coal pile also had a lot of kills as well, because that's where most of the campers decided to situate themselves. Quite funny to see that many people died there too. I do like the fact that DICE are including these things as well in these articles that they write. Never really saw it before in Battlefield 1. This is the sort of stuff that they do during tests. They look at the telemetry, they look at all of the different statistics and come up with these graphs, and it helps them design the map and it helps them improve things in the game. On the whole, I feel as if everyone really enjoyed Battlefield 5. I think the gunplay was very satisfying, it was crisp, and it was a nice change from what we experienced in Battlefield 1. In Battlefield 5, DICE have clearly stated they want a system that clearly shows the player what happens with the weapon at any time, and this refers to the recoil. In contrast to previous games, bullet spread is now converted to recoil, and they've improved the clarity on how controllable your weapon is when firing, or that's what they say at least. This means that you can control your recoil essentially, and the better players will definitely be more accurate, and spray and pray, although it will be effective at the closer ranges, won't be as effective at those medium ranges with this new system. There are also many more changes that DICE are going to be integrating into the game. I'm thinking you're going to see most of them at Gamescom coming up in the middle of August, and then there'll be obviously another build for the beta, and hopefully we'll see another alpha along the way, because people just want to get their hands on this game and play it. Thanks for watching the video. If there's anything that you think DICE will change that I haven't mentioned in this video, leave it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.